Welcome to Let's Make Cake. I'm your host, Michelle Pyle, and we are here to kick depression and anxiety and make a new life. That is something that I did for myself, and so I want to help others do that. So thank you for being here. If you're watching this video, I really appreciate it. So today I want to talk about regret, which isn't necessarily a fun topic, but I do think it's something that's really important to talk about. I have dealt with a lot of regret in my life, and I know that other people have. And I just think it's something we maybe don't talk about enough, or at least I feel like it's not talked about enough. So I just want to talk about that today. And I just want to talk about two main things. So the first is that it is completely normal and human to experience regret and to have regrets, and that's okay. This is a human experience, so we are going to have regret. It's unavoidable. And then the second thing I want to talk about is, okay, well, what do we do with that regret? Because I really think that's when we get into trouble, is when we don't know how to handle it or manage it or what to do with it or what to do about it. So the first, and just talking about how it's completely normal to experience regret. We make choices in life. We don't always know what the outcome is going to be. And sometimes we're making choices from good places, from bad places, from places of desperation sometimes. And it is 100% normal, human, and it's okay that we make choices that lead us down a path that then we later come to regret. Or we avoid making choices that then we later regret. So this is just completely normal and human. I guess that's like the first message is just, let's not think we're the only ones that experience regret. Don't think that you are alone if you're feeling regret for different things in your life. Everyone experiences it. Now, you might meet some people, because I have, who are like, oh, I have no regrets. I think those are people who have not evaluated their life. So I would beware when people say that, because I just think it's completely normal and healthy even to be like, oh yeah, I kind of regret that. Maybe I could have handled that differently and there would have been a different outcome, or, oh, I regret not taking that opportunity or not, going on that date or whatever, right? So we can have regrets in different ways. And it is so completely normal and human to experience regret. So just don't be afraid of it, right? It's okay. If you're feeling regret or you have regret, like, it's okay. What we want to do is really focus on, well, what am I going to do with those feelings of regret? So it obviously depends on the situation, but we have options, right? We don't just have to sit there burying ourselves under this pile of regret, because I know I've done that and I've seen other people do that, and it's very dangerous because it's paralyzing. It prevents us from moving forward. So don't do that. Like, you do have to address it. So the first thing is just, you have to face it and be honest about it, that you are experiencing regret over, whatever it is. So that's the first thing, is just, you have to be like, yes, I'm feeling regret over this. So you have to face it. You have to accept that that's the feeling you're having. Like, don't fight it. It's okay. Like, don't be scared of the feeling. It is just a feeling, and we are able to process our feelings and do positive things with them. So don't be scared to look at things in your past that you regret, right? It's okay to look at it. It's not going to take you down, right? So it's okay to face it. So then we have different options, right? So sometimes the regret, it cannot be changed. It can't be undone. So we might need to go through almost like a grieving process, which is a super important thing to do if you have very significant regrets in your life that cannot be undone. It's okay to grieve and to allow yourself to feel those very complicated emotions, around that regret. So I'll give you an example in my personal life. I recently went through a phase where I was feeling deep regret for not having had children. And it was very overwhelming and it was very difficult to deal with. But I just kept facing it and being like, it's okay that you have that regret. It's okay that you can grieve like this life that you didn't have, where you have, kids. Well, I guess now they'd probably be in college or something, or starting college, but not necessarily running around the house. But it's okay. Like, and I let myself cry and feel the sorrow and feel the pain and have those kind of scary thoughts of like, why didn't I? And what if this and what if that? But just through my facing it and allowing myself to experience the grief, that the very, very real, like it's legitimate grief, right? This is a huge thing that I didn't have in my life. Yeah, and to not be scared of it, and to talk about it with other people. Like if there are people that you have in your life that you trust, that you can share these feelings with, that's also super important. So you might need to just go through kind of a grieving process. Another thing we have to do is be realistic, because I think a lot of times we think that we can like predict the future, like what would have happened if, right? And we actually can't. So it's not super fair to look back on our lives and be like, oh, if I hadn't done this, then everything would be perfect today. Like, don't do that, because that's not how life works. So you do have to be realistic with yourself when you're looking back on regrets, and not tell yourself this sort of fantasy that if not for that, then I would have, right, everything I want. Because when we do that, it actually prevents us from taking the steps now that we need to take in order to be happy in our life. So regret can trap us in the past, where we start telling ourselves these stories, and then it actually kind of gives us an excuse not to make the life that would be fulfilling for ourselves today, because we're stuck thinking about this regret. Whether it's, oh, I shouldn't have married that person, or why didn't I pursue this other relationship? It's if we get stuck there, it's kind of a really good way to avoid, okay, but what can I do now for myself and for my life? And that's a lot harder, right? Because it's real and it's today. The thing about regret is it gets you stuck in the past and kind of imagining these scenarios that you never have to like actually be responsible for. So it's a dangerous game we can play, where we have start imagining these different outcomes and things like that are just not based in reality, because we're actually really bad at predicting right, the future. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to get stuck telling ourselves these other stories. So let me just check my notes here really quick to make sure I'm covering everything, guys. Oh, right. So then, are there regrets that we can actually correct? So one of the things about regret is it might be trying to tell us, hey, I want to make something happen for myself that I wish I had done then. Is it something I can do now? So say like you regret, maybe not pursuing a certain career path or a degree in college or a business, right? Is that something that we still have time today to pursue that? So we also want to look at, is this something that I still want, and that I want enough to pursue and to take the risks? So really we want to start looking at things we regret, and because that emotion is like trying to communicate with us, right? And so we want to pay attention. So it might be that it's something we need to accept. It might be something we need to grieve and allow ourselves to grieve. And it might be something that we need to correct, like moving forward. So I just know, like, especially if you're dealing with depression, you can kind of fall into this pit of regret where you're like, everything I've done has been wrong, every choice I've made. And that is dangerous place to allow yourself to go, right? So just if you are experiencing regret, take the time to write down, and you'll hear me talk about writing things down a lot because getting it out of your head helps tremendously. So if you could write down like, I regret X, and then be like, okay, I'm gonna allow myself to feel that regret. And then start asking yourself questions like, is this something I just need to grieve and accept? Right? Which is one of the hardest things as humans, is to accept bad things that happen, bad choices we made that were out of our control, right? That acceptance process is really important, and it will help you grow so much and like deal with difficult things if you can go through that process of like, I'm going to accept this reality, and I'm not going to fight it, and I'm not going to deny it, and I'm not going to pretend that I can sweep it away and then self-destruct in other ways, right? Like facing that regret will actually help us make better choices moving forward. So write it down and start to really feel the regret and ask yourself questions around it. Like, is there something I can do with this? Do I want to talk to somebody about this? Can this inform what I do today for myself and moving forward? So when we have these kind of heavy feelings like regret, it is something that I know people want to avoid facing because it is hard. But when we do face it and start to ask ourselves questions around that regret, we actually can learn so much about ourselves, what we really are desiring from our life. A lot of times people will be like, what do you want from life? And you're like, oh my God, I don't know. And this is actually a way to start to uncover that, is to go back in your past and be like, what are things that I regret and why? And might that inform what you want to pursue moving forward? There's a lot of information about ourselves in our feelings, and if we avoid it because it is scary. I'm not saying like it doesn't feel good to experience regret, but facing it and allowing it to teach you about yourself and what you want will be huge. And it can just really open up your eyes to like, oh my gosh, I actually want to pursue this type of life moving forward, based on kind of analyzing that regret and what was happening around those feelings for you. And then sometimes, sometimes we just need to grieve, and that is a valid human thing to do. And it will help you not beat yourself up so much, because it's really easy to look at your feelings of regret and then just continue to like pummel yourself. And sometimes like you just need to stop and say it's okay, and I'm just going to grieve like that this happened, and that I made those choices or made those mistakes or put myself in that situation. It's just so human to have regret. And so I think if we can just all help each other normalize this experience of regret, we'd be a lot healthier society, because it's completely normal, right? Hopefully your life is long, and then if it is long, there's going to be a lot in there. It's ups and downs and arounds, and we're figuring this out. And especially if you have depression and anxiety, you're going to have regrets. And it's okay. It's okay to feel the regret. It's okay to face the regret. It's okay to grieve. And then it's okay to say, how can this shape my future and moving forward and what I want? So that was kind of just my message for today, because I know I've gone through periods of really bad depression, and my regret of choices I made in my life and mistakes and opportunities missed and just bad choices would keep me there, right? It would keep, because why get better and move forward if you're living with all this regret? So I think unpacking that and taking the time to look at it, and don't be scared, like you can do this. Talk to someone you trust, or a therapist can definitely help with this also. They can help you work through all these complicated feelings we have about our past. But yeah, I just, regret is a normal human like response to life. And let's not let it take us down. Let's not be scared of it. Let's face it, and let's let it, let's resolve, the feelings. And it's okay to live with regret too. Like it just because you face it doesn't mean it's not going to pop its head up again, right? Like I will still have days where I regret that I didn't have children, but I'm still like laughing and living life and things are good, right? So we can live with regret. Like it's okay. I can still have an amazing life, and so can you. So I just think the more we kind of, yeah, just normalize this human experience that we're all going through, and that regret is a part of that, I think we'll be a lot better off. So that's my message for today, a short video, guys. But I appreciate anyone who is catching these videos and watching them. It really means a lot to me. I know this is something I just feel really passionate about. The more we talk about this stuff, I think we can all help each other get better. Yeah, we can beat depression and anxiety, and we can make a life that feels really good. And I'm super passionate about this. So I hope I'm helping. And if you check out these videos, definitely go to my website if you have a chance, letsmakecake.org. And yeah, so I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks, guys.